Hey, good morning. Thank you for being patient, watching me kind of get my little setup wrapped up. Thank you so much for joining this morning, the Yoga Bo channel. This is our Wednesday morning Memorial Park little live class that we're hoping to start. Hoping to start this on a weekly basis. So by all means, tune in if you're at home, comfortable, grab some props. If you'd ever like to come out and get some sunshine, listen to the birds, maybe listen to me ramble in person, feel free to come out as you're welcome to join me in these live practices. Thank you again for joining our journey. Thanks for taking this journey for yourself. I certainly think this is very important. If you've heard me ramble for the last, few weeks, that's all I've been screaming is either continue your practice or start a practice. I think it's extremely important. I believe that if you give it a shot, you'll think so as well. Last thing I'll say, if you know of anybody who might think this may benefit, please pass this along. If they're curious about yoga, if they're any kind of pain, whether it's through work or sporting activities, whatever it is, by all means, mental, physical, please have them reach out. I'll be happy to talk. I know mental health, physical health are extremely important and often neglected or not prioritized. So thank you again. Namaste. Let's get this practice started. It's going to be a lively practice. We're going to do some dynamic stretching. We're going to wake up. It's going to be uplifting, because honestly, that's what I need right now. So that's what we're going to have. And I'm so very excited for it. So let's go ahead and center this mat and get started with that Kripalu warm up on our back since it is the morning time. Let's get these joints all nice and stretched out and limber and ready. And that soft tissue and fascial tissue good to go. So here we are in our easy seat. I'm going to inhale one time just because this is what I love to do. Float my arms up, put those hands in gratitude, and on the exhale, bring them down. Beginning this practice with a namaste. Gratitude for myself for taking this time, for taking this journey, and gratitude for you for doing the same. So let's get on our back if that's where you'd like to start. So feel free to put a blanket under your legs, maybe under your head or neck for support. If this is your first time, by all means, pause this and take a look at our modification and variation videos. It'll offer some good insight on some tips on how to come out of some postures maybe or some substitutes. If anything's not feeling good, this is your practice. Make sure everything feels good. You're here for you. I'm here for you. Let's make sure you are taken care of. So if anything hurts, painful, discomfort, sharp shooting, we'll just get out of that posture and reach out to me. We'll find a fun alternative. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and anchor down our uh, left foot, and we'll take that right foot, sending it up to the ceiling, and we're going to start this nice Kripalu warm up. So we'll start flexing and extending that right leg, waking up that right knee. Definitely hearing some pops already. Pops with no pain are great. Pops with pain, that's something that needs to be addressed. That's the body just saying, hey, maybe not today, maybe not like this. We can start working out that ankle as well, maybe flexing that foot, pointing as we point, flex that leg. Take your time. Maybe you're holding your leg with your hands. We'll go ahead and start making those circles up in that ceiling with your toes, if you like. Maybe some clouds. Maybe you're feeling the stretch deepest in your big toe, which is odd like myself, but we're just going to roll with it. And we can reverse direction. Embracing those pops, making sure that we're staying with those long inhales and exhales. We'll bring that right leg down a little bit and start making those circles with our hips. Maybe they're small circles, big circles, whatever's in your practice. Feel free to use your arms as stabilizers. You can send them out wide. And once you're at a good spot, we can reverse that direction. All right, we'll go ahead and bring that right ankle over our left knee for that supine pigeon. Here we are, we're letting that knee kind of gently get closer to the mat, opening up that right hip. If it's in your practice and you want to go for a deeper stretch, you can always hold the back of that left leg, bring that in. Make sure you're nice and relaxed in the legs. We want to use our arms for this. We're just stretching out those hips, maybe the knees a little bit. Hopefully you're listening to some fun jams in the background. Might be a good time to throw some Alexa on. All right, we'll go ahead. If your right foot is up or left foot is up, we'll go ahead and release that to the ground. We can unbind those legs. We'll go ahead and just windshield wiper the knees. Again, mostly doing dynamic stretching today. Now here we are. We'll anchor that right leg down now for stability. We'll send that left leg up and we'll start straightening and flexing that leg. Always staying in that comfortable range, but maybe extending to the just a little edge to that comfort where you're not just comfort or uncomfortable. Pardon my horrible English, you know, but you're still in that comfort zone, but maybe it's just a little further than you normally have it. And so we'll start making circles with those toes on the left foot. Once again, embracing all those crackles and crunchies, trying to maybe make bigger circles as we go. And then we'll reverse direction. So far, I've been so lucky with the weather on these lives. I'm gonna keep those good vibes going. I hope we'll bring that left leg in a little bit. We'll start working those little hip circles. Once again, small, big. You can progressively get larger. Let's stay with those big, long exhales and inhales, making sure we're waking up the brain as well. Connect that breath with the movement. Lots of crackles. Okay, we can go ahead now and bring that leg to center. We'll take that left ankle and cross it over the right knee. You can stay here, or you can go ahead and bring that leg up for a deeper stretch in that now left hip. All right, we'll let that right leg go to the ground. If it's up in the air, we can unbind those legs again. Windshield wiper the knees. Just waking things up. Feeling good, hopefully. Otherwise, we'll just fake it till we make it. How about that? All right. We'll go ahead and walk our feet to our body, maybe bringing our knees in. Maybe we rock side to side. Whenever you're ready, we're going to find ourselves in our easy seat. So we can either rock forward a few times, just maybe bigger rocks each time. Maybe you gently just roll to your favorite side, pressing up with your top hand. Here we are. We're getting into that easy seat. If you've been following along, we've been trying different seats lately. We can continue that if you like. For now, I'm just going to do a crisscross applesauce, sitting tall in the spine. Shoulders will loop up, back, and down. On an inhale, I'm going to float my arms up, reaching with those fingertips. Feel free to be sitting on a block or a blanket if you like. I'll do a quick half moon stretch to my sides. Maybe before you put that block down, you can do a couple of these. We'll take our right hand on an exhale, float that right hand down and just stretch our left arm over. Maybe on that inhale, we come up towards center, exhaling a little deeper. Once again, working into these dynamic stretches that, movement, since we're here in the morning time, waking everything up. Maybe on that third one, we reach to a full expression. Inhaling to center, nice and big through those nostrils. Exhaling deep once again through those nostrils. Now that left hand can float down as a kickstand if you like. And reaching across over top with that right hand. Inhaling tall. Exhaling a little deeper. Feeling great. Inhale again, last time. Exhale, deepest expression. And inhale back to center. We'll reach up, pop, pop. Opening, closing these fists. Maybe we'll make little fists, start working out these ankles, holy crud. Working out these wrists as we lower our hands down. As we get to our shoulders, maybe we reverse direction. And we're waking up that upper body now. Our hands can find our lap or by our side, whatever's comfortable. We'll do some seated twists. We'll change it up. You can either stay here in your crisscross, half lotus or lotus, or if you want, I've been switching it up last couple of days. You can bring your feet out front. Either your palms and the soles of your feet can be on the floor or the mat, maybe just your heels. My legs are roughly a 90-degree angle. And what I'm going to do is inhale, sitting nice and tall through the spine. And put my hands in gratitude. And on an exhale, just twist to that right side. And maybe use my knees as support. So my left elbow is outside my right knee. My shoulders away from my ears. If this twist is a little much, you can just have your hand here in a 90-degree on your knee. Maybe your right hand is a kickstand and your left hand is on your knee. The goal is just getting a nice twist in the spine. However we get there, as long as it's safe, that's great. And again, if you need any assistance with modifications, just give me a shout. And then on an inhale, we'll come to center. On the exhale, we'll find that opposite side. Here we are now over to our left. My right elbow is outside of my left knee. I'm tall through that spine, making sure not to round the back. And on an exhale, we'll go ahead and release. All right, we'll do one more seated posture. It'll be a forward fold. This is a new one as well. We'll go ahead and start with our right leg. So since we're already sitting here, I'm going to bring my right heel close to my body. Take my left leg and just wrap it around the right, whatever's comfortable. Maybe you're sitting on a block or blanket. And we'll just hug that right knee into our chest. Sitting tall through the spine. This is like a seated forward fold. So it's good that we're hinging at the hips. Our back is nice and tall and flat. We're using our arms for support to keep us in this posture. We'll stay here for a nice round of inhalations and exhalations before we switch. Inhaling nice and tall. Maybe on that exhale, we just kind of hug that knee a little bit closer. Maybe give it a little rub on our belly. And as we inhale next time, we'll come out of that posture. We'll switch legs. So now I've got my left foot coming close to my body. My right leg is now going to wrap around. Maybe that right knee is over top of that foot. Maybe not, whatever's comfortable. The goal is to have our sits bones grounded, but if one's grounded to begin with, that's okay, as long as it's comfortable. That's why they call it a practice. And here we are, just hugging this now left knee in, feeling a nice stretch in our hips, maybe the lower back, but no pain. If there's any discomfort, we'll go ahead and come out of this posture. All right, and we can go ahead and inhale coming out of that if you like. We'll go ahead and find our tabletop for some cow cats. So I'm gonna go ahead and find my favorite hip, swing my feet around. Here we are stacking bones. It's great to start waking up the body, the upper body, the whole body at this point. Our hands, locks are set, hands under our shoulders, our knees are roughly under the hips. Fingers are spread wide. Our back is nice and flat with our core engaged, gazes down. We're going to take a long inhale with a 4 count here through the nose, feeling those ribs expand. And then a 4 count exhale through the nose, feeling maybe those back ribs start to contract, but we're still strong in our back and core. As we inhale, let's go ahead and get some dynamic stretches here. We're going to lift our head and tail, lowering the belly for our first cow. As we exhale, we'll go ahead and dip that head and tail. The navel and spine start to lift to the sky, pressing down through those hands, maybe down and forward. And we'll ride this breath a few times for some cow cats. You need any kind of comfort for your knees, by all means, we can put blankets or pillows under there. And on this final inhale, let's go ahead and find a neutral spine. Inhaling big, our shoulder blades close together, shoulders strong. And on the exhale, we'll go ahead and take our hands to the top of the mat, slowly lower down for some cobras. 3 rounds of some dynamic cobras. So here we are laying on the mat, belly down. Our legs are relaxed. We're going to press down through our pelvic triangle as we inhale, which will lift our head and shoulders just gently off the mat. You can see I can take my hands away. As I exhale, I'll come down, just wakening up that upper back. We'll inhale a second time. Maybe this time we go a little bit taller, lifting maybe a rib or the collarbones off the mat, keeping our hands there for support. Exhale, we'll find the mat with our favorite cheek. And on this third and final inhale, we'll inhale to our fullest expression. Our crown is shining tall, our heart is shining forward. We'll exhale, finding the mat one last time with our favorite cheek. Maybe we bend at the knee, swaying side to side. Just enjoying this nice little relaxful moment. Maybe thinking about some intention that we have. And we can go ahead and bring our feet down to the mat. We'll curl our toes. We can put those hand locks down underneath our shoulders. And on an inhale, we'll press up into tabletop one more time. We're going to do what they call some spinal balance. It's a nice dynamic stretch. We'll be here once again, tabletop, bones are stacked. We're feeling nice and strong. And on an inhale, we will lift our right hand and our left foot if you like. Feel free to keep one down, thumb is up, heel is pressing back, and on the exhale, we'll bring that right hand and left foot down to the mat. On the next inhale, we'll do the same thing now. Our left hand comes up, left or right foot goes back, left thumb is up, right heel is pressing back, and as we exhale, we come down. We'll do 3 more rounds of these. So we'll inhale, right arm, left leg out. Exhale, back to the mat. We're going to inhale, left arm and right leg. And we'll exhale. Let's stay with those long breaths. Whether they're shaky or not, let's try to stay with them the best we can. Inhale now, right arm, left leg. Exhale down. Right leg, or left arm, right leg. And we'll start that final round. Pressing with that heel back into that imaginary wall. Thumb is pointed to the ceiling or sky. And we'll release. Hopefully that's kind of waking up the upper body and lower body, kind of getting that brain to bring both together. And on an exhale, we'll slowly lower the hips down to our heel for child's pose. If you have any knee ailments, by all means, a puppy pose is a wonderful modification. But our toes can be close together. The heels can be close or far apart, whichever you prefer. Maybe your brow is on the mat, maybe on a pillow in front. Relaxed. Your back is nice and relaxed and stretched over your thighs. Maybe your hips are sinking lower to your heels. Your hands can be outstretched out front or by your side. And let's scan the body for a second. See how we're feeling. Where our mind goes, that's where the energy goes. All that healing that we do, that cellular regeneration. So let's take a look and scan the body. See what needs some attention and some love. And on an inhale, with our hands out in front of us, we can press down through those hands, coming into tabletop. We're going to go ahead and tuck the toes. Inhaling, our knees can come up an inch or two. And as we exhale, those hips can come high. And we'll start to walk that dog, maybe adjust your hands as we find our first down dog of the day. If this is not in your practice, you can use a child's pose, a puppy pose, maybe come up to mountain. But we're just going to take a minute here, engaging those hand locks. Our back is nice and straight, core is engaged. Maybe we're feeling that stretch down our thighs. If we have any discomfort in our back, maybe we bend those knees a little bit. If we have any hamstring tightness, bend those knees. Taking one last breath in, feeling strong. Maybe sinking down into that pose on an exhale. And on that next inhale, we'll lift our heels. When we exhale, we can bend the knees, walk our feet to the mat gently. Maybe we walk our hands to meet our feet, and maybe walk those hands up our legs. As we inhale to our half lift, here we are, maybe the hands are on our thighs for support, and we're really strong in the back. That's what we're here for. We feel we're engaged in the tummy, we're engaged in our lower back. Our crown is shining forward, our tail is shining back, and the shoulder blades are close together. And on an exhale, we'll go ahead and find that ragdoll or forward fold, bending those knees even more for support. Now our torso and chest can be on our thighs. Your head can be hanging below your knees if that's in your practice. Just taking a moment to relax. Maybe your hands are on the mat for support. And on an inhale, we'll root through those feet, spreading the toes. We'll come back to that half lift and we'll pause for just a moment on the way up. And on that next inhale, we'll ride that breath, rooting through those feet. Maybe you're reaching tall through those hands. Maybe you're going ahead and opening and closing those fists, engaging those hands. Make sure your shoulders stay far from your ears so we're not pinching those. We don't want to get any extra tension in our shoulders. And maybe as we exhale, we float that right hand down, reaching over top with our left now. That right hand can be on our hip for support, wherever you like. And again, in that dynamic way, let's go ahead and inhale. Exhale, we can come back deeper in that stretch. Ride that breath, inhaling, and then exhaling maybe a little deeper. And on that third and final or last inhale, maybe we find our way at center. On that subsequent exhale, the left arm can come down or find our hip. And we're just stretching out the fascial tissue in our rib cage, maybe releasing some of that, maybe able to go a little bit deeper than the last practice. All right, we'll inhale. Bring those hands up one last time. And as we exhale, we'll bring them out to our side. We're going to do some arm dancing here, people. It's a little bit different. We can make some mudras. My favorite is to hang loose. If you can see these, it's the kind of the surfer Hawaii, aloha, and so, or mahalo. And so hopefully I'm getting that right. So we've got those hang looses. And what we'll do is for about 60 seconds, we're going to do some quote unquote arm dancing. So we'll go ahead and engage those arms. We'll extend those out to our sides, but we're going to flex our muscles here on our arms. And we'll go ahead and start making little circles with those arms. But again, make sure your muscles are engaged. We don't want to be relaxed. We want to be engaged in our hands, the wrists, forearms, biceps, triceps, the whole shebang. And we'll reverse direction. Maybe those circles get a little bit bigger. And we're rooting through those feet. We're in our tall mountain. Our tailbone is tucked. Our shoulders are up, back, and down, away from our ears. Our shoulder blades are close together, let's say. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and reverse direction. Let's go in big circles. Going slow if you want, but again, keep engaging those arms. And when I say engage, I mean just tighten those muscles, squeeze those muscles. We're probably about halfway there, so let's go ahead and reverse direction here. Nice, slow, big circles. I'm starting to feel the burn now. I don't know about you. Stay with those long breaths, those four count inhales, 4 count exhales. So much to think about. That's okay. And here we go. Let's go ahead and do some of these. I don't know if you can see me. I don't even know what this would be called, but we're just going to take our arms down, up, down, up. But again, make sure we keep those muscles tight. I am feeling it, y'all. All right, one last one. We're going to go back and forth. So we're going to cross over our midsection, the middle line, and back out wide. We'll just do this a couple, 5 more seconds or so. Those muscles are still engaged in our arms. And we can relax. Let's go ahead and shake those out. We'll go ahead and stretch them out if that's okay. We'll take that right arm. We'll reach it across our body. And with that left hand for support, maybe we'll bring it in, stretching that right shoulder in the back of our shoulder blade. All right, we can go ahead and unbind those arms and do the same thing on the opposite side. Awesome. And this next one will hopefully help us out. We're going to go ahead and get into our warrior 1, warrior 2. So we'll go ahead and start with the right foot. We'll take that right foot, send it out forward a little bit. Take that left foot, send it back. So here we are. Our right knee has a slight bend in it. The left heel can be up with our hips square for crescent warrior. It can be down with our hips open for warrior 1. Your legs can be as narrow, as wide as you like. There's no right or wrong answer, but we're strong and engaged in our base. We feel our muscles, once again, are engaged. That knee is not projected past the ankle or heel. And maybe we have a slight bend in this knee, maybe we don't, but we're strong. And on an inhale, we'll go ahead and float these arms up. Maybe we hinge our body towards our front foot. And maybe on the exhale, we sink down just a little bit lower into that warrior 1. Or as I mentioned, if you're in a crescent warrior, if that heel up and those hips square, you may be looking more like this. Either way, do what's in your practice. If you're holding onto a chair or prop, that's great. We just want to feel nice and strong here. We want to feel nice and tall in the spine. And on an exhale, let's go ahead and hinge our torso towards the long end of the mat. Our heel can find the mat as well if it's up. We'll bring those arms outside. And here we are in our warrior 2. Our gaze, or what they call drishti, can be over the middle finger of our front, in this case, right hand. And the base, oh, I'm about to fall over. The base hasn't changed much from warrior 1 to warrior 2. We still look just about the same, just our upper body. And here we go. We'll go ahead and float these arms down behind us, clasping our fingers if you like. Maybe you're just holding onto your glutes. Maybe you're holding onto your elbows. But as we inhale, we're going to bring those lower couple ribs in, inhaling tall through the chest, and just bringing those shoulder blades together. If it's in your practice, you can certainly do a humble warrior and offer a bow. Certainly don't have to. I'm not going to today. It's early and I might fall over. You'll notice it's a little bit difficult to inhale in these types of postures, these throat openers. That's okay. Just take little sips of air. This is great for tightening those muscles around your throat. We can exhale, Bring our arms back into warrior two. We'll stay here for just a full breath. Inhaling nice and strong. Exhaling maybe to that full expression. And on the next inhale, we can take the bend out of that right knee. We'll bring the right toes to the long end of the mat. We'll take those left toes now towards what was the back is now the front of the mat. And we'll find that warrior one here on the left side. So we've got a slight bend in the left knee. Maybe our heel isn't past the ankle. We don't want to project too much, give some issues to the meniscus. Heel can be up or down, whatever's in your practice. But if you're warrior one, you're opening the hips. Tall through the crown, feeling nice and strong and stable. That's the name of the game. And on the inhale, we'll go ahead and float those arms up, framing our ears, making sure not to pinch those ears. And on the exhale, we can hinge the hips, facing the long end of the mat, and we'll settle down into that warrior one. Once again, your arms can be a cactus, it could be an eagle, whatever's in your practice. They could be by your hips for stability. We'll just stay here for one more breath. Inhaling nice and tall. Exhaling, maybe sinking down into that posture. On that next inhale, once again, going tall. On the inhale and exhaling, we'll float those arms out for warrior two. Maybe now that heel is settled down. Gaze can be over that middle finger. Sorry for that. Interruption. What we'll do is exhale, we'll float those arms behind us. Once again, we can clasp the hands behind us. Maybe your hands are on your glutes. Maybe they're holding your elbows. But on an inhale, we'll bring those bottom ribs in. We'll go high in the chest, maybe tilting that head back. Your shoulder blades can be together. We're feeling nice and strong in that base with that heart opener and chest opener. Even though we're not in February anymore, let's keep that heart open. And as we exhale, we can relax. Maybe we bring those arms back to our warrior two for just one more breath. Inhaling nice and strong. Exhaling maybe into that deepest, fullest expression. Feeling that stretch and strength in our hips and thighs. And then we'll inhale one last time while we are in this pose. Take the bend out of that now left knee. Our toes are facing the long end of the mat. Maybe we heel toe them in. We'll do a quick little 5-pointed star before we start to work our way back down. Toes are pointed out a little bit. Heels are maybe pointed in. Tailbone is tucked. And on an inhale, we're going to reach either out or diagonally up with those hands. Again, tuck that tailbone. Tall through the crown and spine. Keeping those bottom ribs in. Noticing as we inhale big, our diaphragm actually contracts, making it difficult, but that's okay. As we exhale, we can relax, heel toe our feet in together to the middle of the mat. We'll go ahead and start to bring our practice down back to the mat. I'm gonna lower down the way I came up, so I'll stop at a half lift, forward fold, and then find my way at the mat. If you have a better, easier way, by all means, do what's in your practice. So as I inhale, I am going to reach up, starting to lose my breath, gotta stay with it. Reaching with those fingers. On the exhale, I'll bring those arms out wide once again. Maybe they're in gratitude. Hinging at the hips, bending at the knees, making sure we maintain the center of gravity. Maybe my hands are on my thighs for support. Maybe they're still out stretched, but there's no pain. Our core is engaged, our lower back is engaged, shoulder blades close together, chest is open. Inhaling nice and strong. And then as we exhale, we'll lower down to that forward fold or ragdoll. Once again, we'll bend our knees even more to make sure that our torso or upper body is resting on our thighs. Head could be hanging low if you like. Maybe your hands are on the mat for stability. Maybe they're holding the elbows, swaying side to side. We're just here to relax. Give some space to those vertebrae that so need it. I don't know about you, but I sleep in the fetal position, so my back needs a lot of stretching in the morning. All right, so here we go. We'll go ahead and place our hands on the mat, start to walk our feet back. Slowly, gently lowering one knee at a time. Here we are in that tabletop, but we'll exhale into Sphinx. Still opening up that chest and heart. Our elbows are under the shoulders. This is great for text neck. This is great for our slumped over posture. So we're going to really drive this thing into the ground. But our forearms and palms are on the mat or the ground. We're tall through the crown. Heart is shining forward. Shoulder blades are close together. Shoulders away from the ears. Maybe we've got a blanket under our pelvic triangle. Inhaling strong, stable, and grounded. And on that final exhale, we'll release, lowering that cheek down to the mat. Maybe we take a bend in our knees, swing, a little windshield wiper, sway them side to side. We'll go ahead and place those legs down on the mat, maybe curl the toes. And on an inhale, we can press up through our hands under the shoulders into that tabletop. We'll go ahead and press through that. Our hips now can sit next to our heels or on our heels into child's pose. The brow can come down on that mat or pillow or blanket. We're going to scan the body one more time. Maybe seeing the difference of how we felt at the beginning of practice compared to how we feel now. Knowing that in just 20 minutes, we can truly make our body, set ourselves up for success through the day, which I think is pretty great. And on an inhale, we can go ahead and press up through those hands. Here we are on tabletop. Our gaze can be in the middle of the mat. That's where we're going to find their seat. We're going to do some Janu Shirsanas, which I love, Shirsasanas. We'll start with in this case now, our left leg is out long. Our right leg is bent. The right palm of the foot or sole of the foot is inside that left leg. We're sitting down on our sits bones. This is a great stretch, for your hips. And so it's great strengthening for your lower back and your core. So on an inhale, maybe we pivot that navel to point to that left foot. Left foot is flexed. And on the exhale, we can just hinge at the hips, making sure we don't round our back. We don't want gravity to help in this case. We want to do the work ourselves. We're waking things up. So on an inhale, maybe we sit up a little bit, staying tall through that spine. And then exhale, maybe we come down a little lower, sticking with those dynamic stretches, those morning dynamics. Maybe we do more static poses in the evening as we wind down. Exhale, we get down into that pose. Our hands can be there for support. Inhaling tall. Exhale, let's go to our deepest, fullest expression. As we inhale, we'll go ahead and take that right leg now, maybe send it long, shake the legs out. We'll bring that left leg now in. Right leg is extended, maybe that toe or that foot is flexed. We're nice and relaxed in the left leg. That's just an easy hip stretch, hip opener. Grounded again through the tailbone, the sits bones. On the inhale, pivot that navel towards that flexed foot. And on the exhale, we hinge at the hips. And our tummy is engaged, our lower back is engaged, and we're feeling this stretch just above those glutes. Maybe that lower back, if that makes sense. The lowest of backs. Inhaling, maybe riding that breath. Exhaling, finding that deeper expression. So inhale one more round. Exhale, find that deepest expression. All right, on the inhale, we'll ride that breath. We'll go ahead and send that left leg out, shake them out a little bit. We can go ahead and lower down for our bridge and inversion. Feel free to find your way to the back of the mat, your back on the mat by using the hands on the back of the thighs and slowly lowering down one vertebrae at a time. You could also choose your favorite hip and just slowly rock on down. Take your time. Once we get here, we're gonna go ahead and walk the feet to the body, hugging these knees in with our hands. Maybe we give them a full hug, maybe a sway. It's gonna take a minute to take some of that pressure off of our lower back, letting that lower back just kind of round a little bit as the tailbone comes off the mat, decompressing that lumbar. And then as we exhale, we're just going to let those feet anchor down right where they are, right near our body. Our hands can be by our side, palms up, palms down, whatever you prefer. What we're going to be doing is a bridge. If you want, you can do a wheel if it's in your practice. I'll be doing bridge. Don't mind our wonderful sanitation workers doing their job, helping us out. So on an inhale, I'm going to press down with my feet, sending my hips up. And since we're doing some dynamic stretches, on the exhale, I'm going to lower those hips down. You don't want to send your hips or your knees too far wide. Let's try to keep those hip width-ish apart. On the inhale, we'll send those hips up again by pressing down with our feet. On the exhale, we'll let it go down one more time. On this third and final, we'll go to our fullest expression maybe. Inhaling, pressing down with those feet. Maybe we're pressing down and forward. Making sure not to put any pressure on our neck or head. As we exhale, we'll lower down, taking our time. Once those hips are down, we can bring those knees in one more time. Just giving ourselves a hug, massaging that back. Maybe this time we hug in our legs or bring our legs into our lower back. Whatever feels good. This is your body. This is your time. From here, if you want, you can just send your feet up for our waterfall for the inversion. The great thing with, oh, sorry, hold on. The internet doesn't want to work here, guys. Let's find a new spot. Sorry. If you're in a waterfall, your feet can be up, and we're just letting the blood flow from our feet down to our heart space. So we'll take a moment. Maybe you're in a half shoulder stand. Maybe you're in a happy baby. Whatever's in your practice, make sure you're safe. Maybe your legs are up a wall. We'll stay here for one more breath, just letting that blood flow. And as we exhale, we can lower down to the mat. We'll go ahead and send those feet out long, closing out the practice. We've got some landscape guys coming in, women coming in. So we'll just take just a moment to relax. We've got so much to do today, but that's okay. There's plenty of time. There's plenty of us to go around. Right now, we just need to be with ourselves. Take this time to appreciate ourselves. Let our body and mind do what it's supposed to do. Connect, clean, clear. Feel free to stay here for as long as you like. I'm going to go ahead and round out the practice by rocking myself up to an easy seat. Here we are. Thank you so much for joining me today, this Wednesday morning, this beautiful morning. Stay in that Shavasana for as long as you like. On an inhale, I'll float my arms up and my hands into gratitude. On the exhale, I'll bring them down to my heart space. The light in me loves and honors and adores the light in you. Thank you so much again for joining the practice. Please share this. This is a wonderful practice that I think a lot of people can benefit from. I would love to talk to them and help them along their way. Feel free to share this, subscribe. I love all of you guys. Keep riding that wave. Namaste. Thank you so much. See you soon.